अब आपको लिए चलेंगे सिंध असेंबली, जहां पर बजट इजलास जारी है। मुराद अली शाह बजट पेश कर रहे हैं।
लें बजट स्पीच सुन तो लें आप। इफ्तिखार साहब आप बोलेंगे या अली खुर्शीदी साहब आप बोलेंगे? कौन बोलेगा? इस तरह तो किसी को कुछ समझ में नहीं आएगा। अच्छा, आप चाहते हैं कि चलें आप बैठ जाएं, आप तो बैठ जाएं, बैठ जाएं। अली खुर्शीदी साहब आप बोलेंगे इन सब के बिहाफ पे? मैं बोलने की इजाजत दे रहा हूं, मैं आपको इजाजत दे रहा हूं। आप अगर बोलना चाहें तो बोल लें इनके बिहाफ पे। शबीर साहब बोलेंगे, इफ्तिखार साहब आप बोलेंगे? नहीं, क्या फारूक साहब कौन बोलेगा? मैं आपको इजाजत दे रहा हूं, अगर आपने बोलना है तो बोल लें, स्पीच करने दें सीएम साहब को। आपकी तस्वीर आ गई, आप बैठ जाएं, अब बस हो गया काम आपका, बैठ जाएं। जमाल साहब काम हो गया आपका, आप बैठ जाएं, अब स्पीच लें। हो गया हो गया हो गया हो गया हो गया हो गया, पता चल गया, बैठ जाएं। बोले इस तरह तो कह रहा हूं, बोले आप जी, बोले। इफ्तिखार साहब की तो सुन लो, माइक पे बोले, माइक पे, माइक पे, माइक खोल लें, माइक खोल लें, माइक खोल लें। मैंने आप सबको मौका दिया है में से कोई बोलना चाहे तो कोई भी एक बोले, लेकिन आप बोलना भी नहीं चाहते। क्या जाहिर करना चाहते हैं कि करना स्पीच ना हो और हाउस का माहौल आप खराब करना चाह रहे हैं। अभी देखा नहीं है, आपके हाथ में अभी बजट आया और आपने फैसला भी कर लिया, तो आप बैठ जाए ना। देख, पॉलिटिक्स को सबोटाज क्यों कर रहे हैं? अली साहब आपको पता है, आप लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन हैं, आप पहले भी इस हाउस के मेंबर रह चुके हैं। माइक खोल देता हूं, बोले बोले।
बात इतनी
अच्छा, पहले ये फैसला करें,
ट्रेजरी बेंच
पहले फैसला कर लें। आप बोलेंगे, इफ्तिखार साहब बोलेंगे?
सर मेरी गुजारिश
नहीं, पहले फैसला कर लेना आप या इफ्तिखार साहब।
सर वन वे ट्रैफिक चल रहा है, सर वन वे ट्रैफिक चल रहा है, वन वे ट्रैफिक चल रहा है। कैसे माने ऐसे बजट को कि जिसमें पूरी शहरी सिंध की जो नुमाइंदगी है उसको ऑन बोर्ड ही नहीं लिया गया है। फिर एक गुजारिश है, बातचीत है, एक असेंबली का माहौल होता है, प्री बजट होती है, दीगर चीजें होती हैं, सब कुछ बाईपास। भाई आपके पास मेजॉरिटी है, हम मानते हैं, मगर इस मुल्क में, इस सूबे में जमहूरी रिवायतों को तो पास किया जाए। भाई अगर ट्रेजरी बेंचेस हैं तो अपोजिशन की भी बेंचेस हैं, अपोजिशन के नुमाइंदे भी आवाम के नुमाइंदे होते हैं। मगर अगर नहीं सुनने की पॉलिसी है तो फिर ऐसे ही चलाते रहें जनाब। आपके पास अक्सरियत है, आप जो चाहे कर सकते हैं, आप करें, फिर आप जो करें, फिर हमारा जो दिल है हम वो करेंगे। सीधी सी बात है। हमें अगर आप जमहूरी रिवायतों को पास नहीं करेंगे तो फिर इसी तरह की सूरत हाल होगी। एहतजाज करना हमारा जमहूरी हक है, हम वो एहतजाज कर रहे हैं, ये हमारा हक है। स्पीकर साहब, आप इससे हमें रोक नहीं सकते हैं कि आप एहतजाज ही नहीं करें। क्या नहीं करें भाई, हम एहतजाज हम करेंगे, बिल्कुल ठोक बजा के करेंगे एहतजाज।
अली साहब, वो आपके लोग आप ही की नहीं सुन रहे
सर, सब सरापा।
अरे वो आप ही की नहीं सुन रहे।
यहाँ वाले तो एहतजाज कर नहीं सकते ना,
अरे वो सुन नहीं रहे हैं आप,
यहाँ वाले कर नहीं सकते।
उनको कम से कम बिठाएं तो सही।
तो ये लोग एहतजाज
वो
करें।
आपको मानते हैं, वो आपकी सुनते हैं।
इनकी तो जबान बंदी हो जाती है।
उनको तो मनाएं, फिर हमें मना लीजिएगा
साहब। इनकी जबान बंदी हो जाती है, इधर थोड़ी होगी।
चले आप तो टाइम दे रहा हूं, बोले प्लीज प्लीज।
बात इतनी सी है, ऐसे बजट का क्या फायदा कि जिसमें पूरी एक, भाई अगर शहरी सिंध की नुमाइंदगी, अक्सरियत नुमाइंदगी यहाँ बैठी हुई है, ऑन बोर्ड ही नहीं है, तीन बजट का सेशन नहीं हुआ है। आप लोग क्या चाहते हैं? डिक्टेटरशिप चलाना चाहते हैं? ये जमहूरी डिक्टेटरशिप है, जमहूरी है। अगर इसी तरह का रवैया रखना है तो रखें जनाब, आपकी हुकूमत है, आप चलाएं, इस तरह चलाते रहे। ये तो कोई बात नहीं हुई ना। बजट पेश हो रहा है तो सिंध का बजट पेश हो रहा है, आधे नुमाइंदों को ऑन बोर्ड ही नहीं लिया हुआ, जमहूरी रिवायतों का पास नहीं कर रहे हैं। ये कोई तरीका नहीं है स्पीकर साहब। हम एहतजाजन इस बजट स्पीच का हम जो है वो बॉयकॉट करते हैं, और हम जो बाकी बातें बजट के आगे आने में जो सूरत-ए-हाल बनेगी उसमें करें।
सिंध असेंबली में बजट इजलास जारी है। एमक्यूएम ने मुराद अली शाह की बजट तकरीर का बायकॉट कर दिया है। अपोजिशन ने इजलास में शोर शराबा किया, नारेबाजी की और कहा कि अली खुर्शीदी साहब, स्पीकर अवैस कादिर शाह ने कहा कि कोई एक बोले, अली खुर्शीदी साहब आप फैसला कर लें, आप बोलेंगे या फिर इफ्तिखार साहब बोलेंगे। इस पर अली खुर्शीदी ने जवाब दिया कि शहर सिंध की नुमाइंदगी को ऑन बोर्ड ही नहीं लिया गया। अपोजिशन के नुमाइंदे भी अवाम के नुमाइंदे ही होते हैं, एहतजाज करना हमारा हक है, हम बिल्कुल करेंगे, आप हमें रोक नहीं सकते। जमहूरी रिवायतों का इस बजट में पास नहीं रखा गया है। सिंध असेंबली में बजट इजलास शुरू हो गया है। मुराद अली शाह बजट पेश कर ही रहे थे कि इस दौरान सिंध असेंबली में एमक्यूएम ने मुराद अली शाह की बजट तकरीर का बायकॉट कर दिया। एमक्यूएम पाकिस्तान ने मुराद अली शाह की बजट तकरीर का बायकॉट किया है और बजट तकरीर का बायकॉट करते हैं, जो होगा आने वाले इजलास में देखा जाएगा, ऐसा कहना था अपोजिशन लीडर अली खुर्शीदी का। अली खुर्शीदी ने कहा कि बजट तकरीर का बायकॉट करते हैं, जो भी होगा आने वाले इजलास में बताया जाएगा। अपोजिशन का इजलास में शोर शराबा हुआ, नारेबाजी की गई और एहतजाज किया गया। स्पीकर अवैस कादिर शाह ने कहा कि क्या कोई एक बोले।
संजय साधवानी से इस बारे में मज़ीद तफसीलात जान लेते हैं। संजय, ये बताइए अपोजिशन में से किस किस जमात ने बॉयकॉट किया है बजट इजलास का?
जी बिल्कुल, बजट इजलास का जो अपोजिशन लीडर है अली खुर्शीदी, उनकी जानिब से बायकाट का ऐलान किया गया। उन्होंने कहा कि हमें बजट तकरीर नहीं करनी, अब हम जा रहे हैं बायकाट करके। लेकिन जिसके बाद जो एमक्यूएम इस वक्त दो हिस्सों में तकसीम होते हुए नजर आई। सर इफ्तिखार अहमद और मुराद अली शाह के दरमियान बातचीत हुई, जो एमक्यूएम रुकन और पीएचपी जो मुस्तफा कमाल ग्रुप के करीबी समझे जाते हैं, उनकी बातचीत हुई। उसके बाद उन्होंने अपने लोगों को इशारा किया, तो फिर एमक्यूएम के जो दीगर अरकान हैं वो ऐवान के अंदर रुक गए। जिसके बाद अली खुर्शीदी जो ऐवान से बायकाट का ऐलान करके बाहर जा रहे थे, वो भी जो है वो गेट से वापसी आया। इस वक्त स्पीकर डाइस के सामने अपोजिशन के अरकान जो है वो एहतजाज कर रहे हैं। इनमें सुन्नी इत्तेहाद काउंसिल के जो अरकान हैं वो भी एहतजाज में कर रहे हैं, वो भी शरीक हैं। क्योंकि जो अरकान हैं वो लेकर एहतजाज कर रहे हैं। एहतजाज में जो है वो दो हिस्सों में तकसीम नजर आई। अली खुर्शीदी की जानिब से जब ये बात की गई तो स्पीकर की जानिब से ये कहा गया कि आप तय करें बोलना किसको है, बात किसको करनी है, मैं आपको बोलने दे रहा हूँ, ये तरीका नहीं है। जिसके बाद एहतजाज होता रहा, शोर शराबा होता रहा। उसके बाद अली खुर्शीदी जो अपोजिशन लीडर है उनकी जानिब से बायकाट का ऐलान किया गया और वो अपनी नशिस्त से उठकर रवाना होने लगे। जब
अच्छा संजय, ये भी बताइएगा कि एमक्यूएम के कितने अरकान हैं जो वॉकआउट कर गए और कितने अरकान अभी असेंबली में मौजूद हैं?
देखें, जो एमक्यूएम के अरकान वॉकआउट का जो अली खुर्शीदी की जानिब से ऐलान किया गया था, उस वक्त तमाम अरकान अपनी नशिस्तों से उठे थे और वो एहतजाजन अपनी नशिस्तों से गेट की जानिब जो रवाना हुए थे। लेकिन अली खुर्शीदी की जानिब से जब ये अली खुर्शीदी की जानिब से जब ये कहा गया कि जो है वो आप बायकाट करके बाहर जा रहे हैं, जिसके बाद इस वक्त अली खुर्शीदी का जो उनके साथ ग्रुप है, जो अरकान है, वो इस वक्त गेट के पास खड़े हैं, जबकि जो मुस्तफा कमाल के करीबी समझे जाने एमपीएस हैं, जिसमें इफ्तिकार अहमद समेत दीगर जो अरकान हैं, वो इस वक्त स्पीकर डाइस के पास खड़े हुए हैं। वो अलग से अपनी बातचीत कर रहे हैं और इस तरह पाकिस्तान तहरीक इंसाफ के जो हिमायत
मुस्तफा कमाल के हमरा मरकजी कायदीन भी हैं कोई?
देखें, मुस्तफा कमाल के जो एमपीएस हैं, जिसमें हम कह सकते हैं इफ्तिकार अहमद और ये लोग जो हैं वो इस इजलास में भी शरीक हैं, जो उनके हमदर्द हैं। तो एमकेएम दो हिस्सों में तकसीम होती हुई नजर आई थी, जिसका स्पीकर की जानिब से भी तस्करा किया गया कि आप पहले तय कर लें आपको किसको बात करनी है, किसको जो है वो बैठना है, किसको जाना है। तो बायकाट का ऐलान अली खुर्शीदी जो है वो कर चुके हैं, लेकिन मेरे सामने इस वक्त अली खुर्शीदी जो है वो गेट जाने खड़े हुए हैं, जो
और संजय, सुन्नी इत्तेहाद काउंसिल के अरकान इस वक्त असेंबली में मौजूद है या वो अली खुर्शीदी के साथ बॉयकॉट में शामिल हुए?
तमाम अपोजिशन जो है वो इस बायकाट का
सिंध असम्बली का इजलास जारी है। एमक्यूएम ने मुराद अली शाह की बजट तकरीर का बायकॉट कर दिया है। ऑपोजिशन ने इजलास में शोर शराबा किया, नारेबाजी की और एहतजाज रिकॉर्ड कराया। इस वक्त भी स्पीकर डाइस के सामने एहतजाज रिकॉर्ड कराया जा रहा है, जिस पर स्पीकर अवैस कादिर शाह ने कहा कि कोई एक बोले, जिस पर अली खुर्शीदी साहब आप बोलें, आप फैसला कर लें कि आप बोलेंगे या फिर इफ्तिखार साहब बोलेंगे। जिस पर अली खुर्शीदी ने जवाब दिया कि शहर सिंध की नुमाइंदगी को ऑन बोर्ड ही नहीं लिया गया। ऑपोजिशन के नुमाइंदे भी अवाम के नुमाइंदे ही होते हैं। एहतजाज करना हमारा हक है, हम बिल्कुल करेंगे, आप हमें रोक नहीं सकते। जमहूरी रिवायतों का पास नहीं रखा गया। और उसके बाद ऑपोजिशन लीडर अली खुर्शीदी अरकान असम्बली के साथ वॉक आउट कर गए। एमक्यूएम के अरकान वॉक आउट कर गए। सिंध असम्बली इजलास इस वक्त जारी है। मुराद अली शाह की बजट तकरीर का बायकॉट किया गया है। एमक्यूएम पाकिस्तान की जानिब से मुराद अली शाह बजट पेश कर ही रहे थे, जिस पर अली खुर्शीदी ने उनकी तकरीर का बायकॉट किया है।
सिंध असम्बली का बजट इजलास जारी है। अपोजिशन लीडर अली खुर्शीदी ने बिल्कुल वाज़ेह अल्फाज में कहा कि आपने प्री बजट सेमिनार नहीं कराया है, एहतजाज करना हमारा जमहूरी हक है। और उन्होंने तनकीद करते हुए सिंध हुकूमत को कहा कि आप जमहूरी डिक्टेटरशिप चलाना चाहते हैं, इस तरीके से असम्बलियों के इजलास नहीं होते, इस तरीके से बजट पेश नहीं किए जाते। स्पीकर सिंध असम्बली अवैस कादिर शाह की सदारत में इस वक्त बजट इजलास जारी है। जैसे ही बजट इजलास शुरू हुआ, वज़ीर आला सिंध मुराद अली शाह ने बजट पेश करना शुरू ही किया था कि अपोजिशन की जानिब से खूब शोर शराबा किया गया, जिस पर मुराद अली शाह ने बजट तकरीर को रोका। और फिर स्पीकर अवैस कादिर ने अपोजिशन अरकान को मुखातिब करते हुए कहा कि आप में से कौन है जो बात करेगा। उसके बाद में अली खुर्शीदी जो अपोजिशन लीडर सिंध असम्बली में है वो उठे, उन्होंने बात की। उन्होंने कहा कि प्री बजट सेमिनार नहीं कराया गया, हमें एतमाद में नहीं लिया गया, जो शहरी नुमाइंदे हैं उन्हें एतमाद में नहीं लिया गया। जबकि जो शोर शराबा हुआ उस पर वज़ीर आला सिंध मुराद अली शाह ने अपनी तकरीर को जारी नहीं रखा, उन्होंने तकरीर को फौरी तौर पर रोका। और जब अली खुर्शीदी इजलास का बॉयकॉट करके गए तो उनके हमरा एमक्यूएम पाकिस्तान के तमाम अरकान नहीं गए, बल्कि मुस्तफ़ा कमाल के जो करीबी साथी थे वो वहीं रुक गए। तो एमक्यूएम सिंध असम्बली में दो हिस्सों में तकसीम होती नज़र आई। गुज़िश्ता कई दिनों से हम ये देख रहे थे कि मुस्तफ़ा कमाल के बयानात भी इस तरीके से आ रहे थे और अब ये सूरत हाल रही जो सामने आ रहा है। दो हिस्सों में तकसीम मुनक़सिम हुई एमक्यूएम पाकिस्तान। सिंध असम्बली में एक धड़ा मौजूद है जो अली खुर्शीदी के हमरा कुछ अरकान इजलास का बॉयकॉट करके चले गए, कुछ अरकान असम्बली में अभी भी मौजूद हैं। और सुन्नी इत्तेहाद काउंसिल के अरकान भी इस वक्त इजलास में ही मौजूद हैं, जो स्पीकर के डाइस का घेराव करके वहाँ पर नारेबाजी कर रहे हैं। लेकिन अभी तक वज़ीर आला सिंध मुराद अली शाह ने बजट पेश करना दोबारा नहीं शुरू किया है।
बिल्कुल, और इस पर अली खुर्शीदी ने कहा कि हम एहतजाजन बजट तकरीर का बायकॉट करते हैं। सिंध असम्बली का बजट इजलास इस वक्त जारी है, लेकिन ऑपोजिशन एहतजाज कर रही है और एमक्यूएम पाकिस्तान के कुछ अरकान वहाँ से वॉकआउट कर गए हैं। बजट में ऑन बोर्ड नहीं लिया गया, ये शिकवा किया ऑपोजिशन लीडर अली खुर्शीदी ने। उन्होंने कहा एहतजाज करना हमारा जमहूरी हक है। एमक्यूएम ने बजट इजलास का बायकॉट किया है। एमक्यूएम के कुछ अरकान वॉकआउट कर गए हैं। सिंध असम्बली का बजट इजलास जारी है। वज़ीर आला की तकरीर रोक दी गई और एहतजाजन वॉक आउट कर गए एमक्यूएम पाकिस्तान के कुछ अरकान। ऑपोजिशन ने ऐवान से वॉक आउट किया है। सिंध असम्बली में बजट इजलास शुरू ही हुआ था और मुराद अली शाह बजट तकरीर पेश कर ही रहे थे कि इस दौरान ऑपोजिशन लीडर ने कहा कि हम जी नहीं करते हैं, हम एहतजाजन बायकॉट करते हैं। शोर शराबा किया गया, नारेबाजी की गई और इस वक्त भी स्पीकर डाइस के सामने एहतजाज रिकॉर्ड कराया जा रहा है। उन्होंने कहा कि हमें कॉन्फ्रेंस में नहीं लिया गया, शहरी सिंध की नुमाइंदगी को ऑन बोर्ड ही नहीं लिया गया। अपोजिशन के नुमाइंदे भी अवाम के ही नुमाइंदे होते हैं। एहतजाजन हम एहतजाज करते हैं और एहतजाज करना भी हमारा हक ही है। उन्होंने कहा कि जमहूरी रिवायतों का बिल्कुल भी पास नहीं रखा गया। एमक्यूएम पाकिस्तान ने बजट इजलास का बायकॉट किया है और अपोजिशन का इजलास में शोर शराबा हुआ, नारेबाजी की गई। इस पर स्पीकर अवैस कादिर शाह ने कहा कि कोई एक बोले, तमाम अरकान नहीं बोले। अली खुर्शीदी साहब, या आप फैसला कर लीजिए, या तो आप बोलेंगे या फिर इफ्तिखार साहब आप बोलेंगे। जिस पर अली खुर्शीदी साहब ने जवाब दिया कि शहरी सिंध की नुमाइंदगी को ऑन बोर्ड नहीं लिया गया। अपोजिशन के नुमाइंदे भी अवाम के नुमाइंदे ही होते हैं। एहतजाज करना हमारा हक है और हम बिल्कुल एहतजाज करेंगे। जमहूरी रवायात का पास नहीं किया जा रहा, हम बजट का बायकॉट करते हैं। बायकॉट के मामले में एमक्यूएम पाकिस्तान दो हिस्सों में तकसीम होती दिखाई दे रही है और एमक्यूएम पाकिस्तान के तमाम अरकान जो हैं वो वॉकआउट नहीं कर गए, जबकि कुछ अरकान इस वक्त असम्बली में मौजूद हैं, जबकि कुछ अरकान असम्बली से वॉकआउट कर गए हैं अपोजिशन लीडर अली खुर्शीदी के हमरा। सिंध असम्बली का इजलास जारी है, बजट इजलास जारी है, लेकिन अब तक बजट तकरीर पेश नहीं की गई है क्योंकि वहाँ पर एहतजाज किया जा रहा है। अपोजिशन लीडर अली खुर्शीदी की जानिब से, एमक्यूएम पाकिस्तान की जानिब से एहतजाज किया जा रहा है और कुछ अरकान वहाँ से वॉक आउट कर गए हैं। उन्होंने कहा कि अपोजिशन के नुमाइंदे भी अवाम के नुमाइंदे होते हैं और हम एहतजाज करते हैं, हम इस बजट तकरीर का एहतजाज करते हैं और एहतजाजन वॉकआउट करते हैं।
सिंध असेंबली का बजट इजलास जैसे ही शुरू हुआ, अपोजिशन की जानिब से खूब शोर शराबा किया गया और शोर शराबा करने के बाद में वहाँ पर इजलास इस वक्त अपोजिशन का बॉयकॉट जारी है।
Of our beloved homeland. Recent developments have once again demonstrated Pakistan's role as a voice for peace, stability and principled diplomacy. Under the leadership of President Asif Ali Zardari, Prime Minister Mian Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif and Chief of Defence Forces Field Marshal Syed Asim Munir, Pakistan actively engaged with regional and international partners to support efforts aimed at de-escalation and peaceful resolution during the recent Middle East crisis, reaffirming its position as a nation that promotes peace in the region and stands for dialogue, upholding the canons of international law. Above all, I pay tribute to the resilient people of Sindh. I salute our farmers who continue to cultivate the land despite climatic uncertainty, our workers and laborers whose efforts sustain the economy, our teachers and healthcare professionals who serve with dedication, our entrepreneurs who continue to invest despite economic challenges, and our youth whose aspirations inspire us to build a better future. Honorable Speaker, I rise today to present the budget of the financial year 2026-27 in fulfillment of our constitutional responsibility. The economy continues to face uncertainty arising from geopolitical tensions, disruptions in international trade, volatility in energy markets, and persistent inflationary pressures. According to the International Monetary Fund, global growth is projected at 3.1% in 2026, while global inflation is expected to remain elevated at 4.4%. Despite these challenges, Pakistan's economy demonstrated resilience during financial year 2025-26. National GDP increased from rupees 114 trillion to rupees 127 trillion. Economic growth improved at 3.7%. Per capita income increased from $1,751 to $1,091. Remittances reached a record $30.3 billion. Yet behind these encouraging indicators, ordinary citizens continue to face considerable hardship. Rising living costs, higher energy prices, and inflation placed significant pressure on household budgets. Inflation averaged at 6.69% during the year, and reached 11.7% in May 2026, affecting the purchasing power of families across the country. Climate change also continues to pose a serious challenge to Sindh. The lessons of recent floods remain fresh in our memory. Recovery and reconstruction efforts continue across many districts, while increasing pressures on water resources, agriculture, and urban infrastructure demand attention and investment. At the same time, thousands of young men and women enter the labor market every year seeking education, skills, and employment opportunities. Meeting these aspirations remains amongst foremost responsibilities. Mr. Speaker, sir, faced with these challenges, the Government of Sindh remained guided by clear conviction. The impact of economic uncertainty should not be borne by citizens alone. Accordingly, throughout financial year 2025-26, the government pursued a strategy of fiscal responsibility, prudent governance, and sustained investment in development. We sought to protect citizens, preserve economic activity, and continue investing in the sectors that matter most to people's lives. It is against this backdrop of global uncertainty, inflationary pressures, climate challenges, and rising public expectations that the Government of Sindh pursues its development agenda during 2025-26. I now turn to the measures undertaken by the government to maintain fiscal discipline, strengthen public finances, and sustain development momentum during a very challenging year. Honorable Speaker, sir, throughout the year, our objective was not merely to manage public finances, but to ensure that every rupee spent delivered the maximum possible benefit to the people of Sindh. Non-essential expenditures were carefully controlled. Administrative spending was streamlined, and available resources were redirected towards development priorities and essential public service. Our approach was guided by a simple principle: fiscal prudence must enable development, not constrain it. At a time when many governments responded to economic pressures by reducing development spending, delaying projects, or curtailing investments in social sectors, the Government of Sindh chose a different course. We protected investments in education, healthcare, social protection, agriculture, water resources, public transport, housing, and infrastructure. At the same time, we strengthened expenditure controls, enhanced monitoring systems, and accelerated governance reforms aimed at improving efficiency and ensuring value for money in public spending. The results of this approach are visible today. Despite inflationary pressures, rising construction costs, and increased expenditure demand, Sindh achieved the highest development performance in its history. Against an exceptionally challenging economic backdrop, the Government of Sindh released more than rupees 900 billion for development activities across the province. Major achievements during financial year 2025-26 include completion of 952 schemes as per the following breakdown. I won't go through this breakdown to save time. This unprecedented level of investment supported roads, bridges, schools, hospitals, water supply schemes, irrigation infrastructure, public transport system, municipal services, and development activities benefiting citizens in every district of Sindh. These investments not only improve public services, but also generate economic activity, supported employment, and strengthen the foundation of long-term growth and prosperity. We believe responsible public finance is ultimately measured not by savings alone, but its impact on the lives of citizens. Honorable Speaker, I now turn to the measures undertaken by the Government of Sindh during 2025-26 to provide relief to citizens, protect livelihood, and support vulnerable segments of the society. Throughout financial year 2025-26, the Government of Sindh implemented a series of targeted interventions aimed at protecting livelihoods, reducing economic hardship, and supporting vulnerable segments of the society. These measures benefited farmers, workers, fishermen, transport users, traders, and households across the province. Honorable Speaker, one of the most tragic incidents during the year was the devastating fire at Gul Plaza, Karachi on 17th of January 2026. This claimed 72 precious lives and affected approximately 1,208 commercial units and businesses. Recognizing both the human tragedy and the economic devastation suffered by hundreds of families and traders, the government approved one of the largest relief and rehabilitation packages ever extended for a commercial disaster in Sindh. A comprehensive package of rupees 8.45 billion was announced, comprising compensation for bereaved families, direct financial assistance to affected shopkeepers, and compensation for inventory and business losses. Under this package, compensation of rupees 10 million per deceased victim was approved. In addition, 1,208 affected shopkeepers received direct assistance of 500,000 each, and approximately 5.77 billion was released for inventory and business losses. I am grateful to the Karachi Chamber of Commerce and Industry who worked with us very closely, and all the payments were made on the recommendation of Karachi Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and I thank them for their help. Recognizing the challenges faced by our farming community, the government launched one of the largest farmer support programs in province's history. An allocation of rupees 45 billion was made for wheat procurement and farmer support initiatives. Through the Sindh Wheat Grower Support Program, more than 336,000 farmers cultivating over 2 million acres received assistance through the Benazir Hari card. An amount of rupees 43.23 billion was transferred directly to growers, contributing to a 21% in wheat cultivation and a record 28% increase in wheat production across Sindh. Wheat cultivation increased from 3.086 million to 3.879 million acres, while wheat production increased from 3.54 million tons to a highest ever 4.91 million tons in the province of Sindh. To further reduce production costs, the government allocated rupees 3 billion as fuel subsidy for small farmers holding up to 25 acres. Approximately 331,000 farmers benefited through transparent digital transfers, helping protect farm incomes and sustain agricultural activity. Honorable Speaker, the government also acted to shield citizens from rising fuel prices. Under the People's Motorcycle Fuel Subsidy Program, rupees 4 billion was released to provide direct support to motorcycle owners across Sindh. More than 660,000 beneficiaries have received assistance through a fully digital payment mechanism. Similarly, rupees 2.37 billion was released as fuel differential subsidy for public transport operators. This intervention helped maintain affordable fares and benefited millions of daily commuters throughout the province. Recognizing challenges faced by coastal communities, the government also provided rupees 515 million in fuel support for 2,819 registered small and medium fishing boats, helping sustain livelihoods and economic activity in the coastal district. Further, Sindh contributed rupees 807 million under the Pakistan Energy Relief Plan as a part of coordinated national effort to cushion citizens from rising transportation costs. Honorable Speaker, I now turn to the flagship achievements that have transformed communities, strengthened infrastructure, and laid the foundation for long-term prosperity across Sindh. These achievements represent communities restored, homes rebuilt, services expanded, jobs created, and opportunities unlocked for millions of citizens across Sindh. Sir, one of the most significant achievements of financial year 2025-26 was the government's ability to sustain development momentum despite challenging economic conditions. Sindh achieved, as I had mentioned earlier, the highest development expenditure in its history, with more than rupees 900 billion invested in development projects and public infrastructure across the province. Last year, we committed to rebuilding homes and restoring dignity to families affected by the devastating floods of 2022. Today, sir, I am proud to report that Sindh People's Housing for Flood Affectees has emerged as the largest owner-driven housing reconstruction program in the world. The program has attracted international financing of approximately US $1.675 billion, reflecting the confidence of development partners in Sindh's ability to deliver large-scale projects efficiently and transparently. To date, financing for approximately 1.7 million housing units has been arranged. 1 million houses have already been completed. Of the remaining units, approximately 100,000 houses have reached the roof level, while the remainder are at various stages of construction. A major feature of the program has been the empowerment of women through property ownership. A total of 120,058 land titles have been registered in favor of eligible women beneficiaries, while more than 300,000 women have received ownership and land title documents, making the largest women-led asset transfer program in South Asia. The program has also generated substantial economic activity in rural areas, creating employment opportunities, supporting local businesses, and stimulating construction-related industry across Sindh. Mr. Speaker, sir, this program has been reviewed by all international agencies, and I'm very proud to tell you that the World Bank, the Islamic Development Bank, the Asian Development Bank have mentioned that this program is the best ever housing program that they've done anywhere around the world. And this was the brainchild of Chairman Pakistan People's Party, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, who for the first time ever, there have been floods before, but it's the first time ever that the government is rebuilding houses, and they're rebuilding climate resilient houses for these. So this program has been acclaimed as the flagship program by all international agencies. So for next year, the allocation for the Sindh People's Housing for Flood to complete the remaining houses is rupees 100.4 billion. Building upon the reconstruction efforts, the government has launched a US $214 water, sanitation and hygiene program. The initiative will provide clean drinking water and sanitation facilities to approximately 215,000 households in 1,800 villages, benefiting more than 1 million people. In addition, design work has commenced in 200 villages under wash intervention, while physical work in 100 villages are expected to commence by the end of June 2026. So another flagship project that we've completed is the Salaried Bhutto. It's a new era in connectivity. Honorable Speaker, Karachi's continued growth depends upon modern infrastructure and efficient mobility. I am very pleased to report that Salaried Bhutto, one of the largest urban infrastructure projects in Sindh history, has now become operational. Constructed at a cost of approximately rupees 60 billion, the project comprises a modern 38.75 kilometer corridor connecting Qayyumabad with the M9 motorway. Major infrastructure project developed under the public-private partnership framework. It represents a landmark achievement in innovative financing and project delivery. The impact is already visible. Travel time along the corridor has been reduced to approximately 25 minutes, while Salaried Bhutto is currently facilitating the movement of around 25,000 vehicles daily. Salaried Bhutto, I'm pleased to inform the House that Salaried Bhutto is now being extended from Qayyumabad to Karachi Port. The groundbreaking ceremony of this 64.2 billion rupee project was performed by Chairman Pakistan People's Party, Mr. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, on 22nd May 2026. And just wish to tell everyone that out of the 64.2 billion, the government of Sindh's contribution as equity is only 9.3 billion. So with 9.3 billion, we will inshallah develop a project worth more than 64 billion rupees. The construction time is 30 months and the work on the project has already started. During financial year 2025-26, approximately 23 billion was committed. Some more projects in the city of Karachi I mentioned. In 25-26, approximately 23 billion were committed for major infrastructure projects being implemented through the Frontier Works organization to improve mobility and strengthen Karachi's transport network. The government also approved infrastructure projects exceeding rupees 11 billion to be executed by the Karachi Development Authority and rupees 22 billion worth of projects being implemented through the Karachi Metropolitan Corporation to improve urban infrastructure and service delivery. A major milestone was achieved through completion of the Hub Canal project at a cost of approximately rupees 12.7 billion, significantly strengthening long-term water security for Karachi and adjoining areas. This project was inaugurated by Chairman Bilawal Bhutto Zardari on 13th of August 2025. Significant progress has already been achieved under the Competitive and Livable City of Karachi program. Development works are undertaken on 151 schemes across all 25 town municipal corporations of Karachi, of which 147 schemes have already been completed. The remaining schemes are on track for completion by the end of the current month. In addition to physical infrastructure, the program delivered important governance reforms through implementation of a modern SAP-based financial and payroll management system across all local councils and Karachi Metropolitan Corporation. A landmark achievement has also been the launch of one of Pakistan's largest municipal property mapping initiative, under which approximately 4.5 million properties are being surveyed through GIS-based urban immovable property tax system. This initiative will strengthen urban planning, improve municipal revenues, and support sustainable delivery in the years ahead. Sir, now I move to talking about delivering on our commitments. Mr. Speaker, no investment yields greater return than an investment in human life. For this reason, the government of Sindh has consistently prioritized healthcare as a fundamental pillar of its development agenda, with the objective of ensuring that every citizen has access to quality healthcare services regardless of income or place of residence. I am pleased to report that substantial progress has been achieved across the healthcare sector during financial year 2025-26. Sindh today hosts some of the finest public healthcare institutions in Pakistan, serving only not the people of Sindh, but patients from across the country, or should I say, patients from across the world. The National Institute of Cardiovascular Disease continues to expand access to specialized cardiac care. During the current year, the new outpatient complex inaugurated by Chairman Bilawal Bhutto Zardari on 5th December 2025 became operational with an investment of approximately rupees 1.2 billion and is currently serving 46,230 patients every month while conducting nearly 40,500 diagnostics tests monthly. Construction of a 100-bed emergency block, a 300-capacity conference hall and dedicated clinical trial unit has also commenced, further strengthening NICVD's position as one of the world's largest publicly funded cardiac healthcare system. Similarly, the Sindh Institute of Cardiovascular Disease continued to perform free and life-saving treatments throughout its network of 10 cardiac hospitals and 30 chest pain units across Sindh. During financial year 2025-26, SICVD provided treatment to more than 3.44 million patients and at an expenditure of approximately rupees 13.3 billion. The network performed 15,927 emergency angioplasties, 12,757 cardiac catheterization procedures, 1,914 open heart surgeries, and more than 1.49 million diagnostic procedures. The chest pain unit network alone treated almost 433,000 patients, including 9,610 emergency heart attack cases, ensuring timely interventions and thus saving thousands of lives. To further expand access, new chest pain units were established at Sangar and Dadu, while advanced cardiac intervention facilities were introduced at Sakkar, Hyderabad, and Tando Muhammad Khan. Sir, I'll now move to the Sindh Institute of Urology and Transplantation. Sir, a major milestone was achieved through operationalization of 250-bed SIUT's Children's Hospital, which is now approximately 80% operational and has already provided more than 53,000 consultations. The government provided rupees 1 billion for this facility, which is expected to become fully operational during financial year 2026-27. At SIUT Sakkar, more than 57,000 OPT consultations, 53,000 dialysis sessions, 28,000 surgeries, and over 1.4 million laboratory tests were conducted during the year. Likewise, the Jinnah Postgraduate Medical Center continued to strengthen its position as one of Pakistan's largest tertiary care hospitals. JPMC provided healthcare to approximately 2,38,477 major surgeries. The institution also remained a national leader in cancer treatment, managing more than 51,000 oncology patients, conducting 3,189 radiotherapy sessions, and 16,915 chemotherapy sessions. Significant progress was achieved on medical tower being developed under the government of Sindh and Patient Aid Foundation partnership. Through this successful collaboration, JPMC's capacity has increased from 1,100 beds in 2011 to 2,208 beds today. Investing in children's health. Honorable Speaker, the government continued major investments in child and maternal health care throughout. Sindh Institute of Neonatology. The SICHN network expanded from 790 beds to more than 1120 beds and now provides specialized healthcare service across 12 districts of Sindh. More than 1.2 million patients received treatment through the SICHN facility. So the Peer Abdul Qadir Shah Jilani Institute of Medical Sciences, Govt, continued to serve as Pakistan's premier public sector transplant institution. Between July 25 and May 26, Govt Institute provided healthcare services to approximately 2.97 million patients and successfully performed 174 liver transplants, 16 kidney transplants, 29 bone marrow transplants, and 209 cardiac surgeries. The government also continued to strengthen emergency response systems across Sindh. During the current financial year, the Sindh Integrated Emergency and Health Service expanded its fleet by 110 new ambulances, increasing the total fleet to 545 ambulances operating across the province. Honorable Speaker, sir, I now turn to another critical investment in the future of our province, strengthening education and building human capital that will drive Sindh's growth in decades ahead. Honorable Speaker, no nation can achieve lasting prosperity without investing in its people and in its youth. Education remains the most powerful instrument for social mobility, economic and development. Last year, we committed to strengthening the education sector through teachers' recruitment, restoration of schools, expansion of early childhood education, support of out-of-school children, decentralization of school finances, and greater access to higher education opportunities. One of the largest merit-based recruitment drives in Sindh history was successfully undertaking, and we recruited an additional 5,530 teachers, an additional 5,530 teachers. Recruitment is underway. The government completed 1,312 new schools during this year. Reconstruction of flood-affected schools also continued, with 606 schools rehabilitated and reconstructed, while work is in progress on another 1,860 schools. Recognizing the importance of early learning, 1,336 early childhood education classrooms were established and strengthened, benefiting more than 40,000 children. In addition, 752 teachers received specialized training and 584 early childhood teachers were recruited. I'll just skip a few pages here due to shortage of time, and I'll go to law and order. Peace and security are indispensable for economic growth, social stability and public confidence. Recognizing this, the Government of Sindh continued to invest in modern policing, counter-terrorism capabilities and public safety initiatives to ensure a secure environment for citizens and businesses alike. A major milestone during financial year 2025-26 was the expansion of technology-driven policing and road safety initiatives. The introduction of AI-based faceless e-ticketing system, together with expansion of the Safe City program, transformed traffic enforcement and strengthening road safety across the province. More than 1.07 million electronic tickets were issued through transparent and technology-based enforcement mechanism. Adopting a citizen-friendly approach, the government waived penalties for the first-time traffic violators to encourage compliance through awareness rather than punishment. To further strengthen the surveillance and public safety, 1,325 smart cameras equipped with facial recognition and automatic number plate recognition technologies were installed at strategic locations. In addition, 1,487 assistant sub-inspectors were recruited. Recruitment of 2,000 investigation officers was approved, and modernization work commenced on 40 model police stations across the province. So one of the most important achievements of the year was restoration of peace and security in the Kacha areas of northern Sindh through targeted anti-dacoit operations in Shikarpur, Kashmir and Govt, supported by an allocation of Rs 872 million. Law enforcement agencies conducted 141 encounters, eliminated 48 hardened criminals, made 140 arrests and secured 475 voluntary surrenders. Most importantly, approximately 115,000 acres of Kacha territory was cleared from criminal influence, restoring confidence among local communities and strengthening the writ of the state. Sir, I now turn to another important commitment of this government, that is empowering persons with disabilities, promoting inclusion, and ensuring that no citizen is left behind in journey towards progress and prosperity. During the current financial year, significant progress was achieved in expanding rehabilitation services, strengthening inclusive education, and improving accessibility across the province. Today, the Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities operates 67 special education and rehabilitation schools, 10 centers for autism rehabilitation and training, and works in partnership with 140 organizations supporting persons with disabilities. More than 1,000 teachers from 300 schools received specialized training under inclusive education program, while a broader initiative has been launched to train 5,000 teachers in inclusive education methodologies. The government also expanded rehabilitation infrastructure. New CARTS facilities at Tando Muhammad Khan and Korangi have been completed, while the Sakhar Mega Complex and centers in Mirpur Khas, Karachi Central and DHA Karachi are progressing. The Sindh Institute of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, Ladkhana, has achieved approximately 90% completion, while a similar facility is being developed in Sakhar. Rehabilitation facilities also being expanded in Karachi, Badin, Shahzadpur, Jacobabad, Moro, Daud and Mithi. To improve accessibility and opportunity, 42 digital classrooms were established for deaf students. Pakistan's largest vocational training facility for persons with disabilities was established at Korangi, and assistive devices worth Rs 800 million were distributed across Sindh. Honorable Speaker, sir, I now turn to another area where government has delivered tangible results for citizens across the province, modernizing public transport, improving mobility, and advancing sustainable transportation solutions. An efficient, affordable, and accessible transport system is essential for economic growth, social inclusion, and urban productivity. The People's Bus Service continued its successful expansion with operational fleet reaching 290 buses and services extended to Khairpur, Shikarpur, Tandolayar, and Hyderabad. Today, the service carries approximately 125,000 passengers daily and has served more than 1 million passengers since its launch. To improve mobility for women, the Pink Bus Service, Pakistan's first women-exclusive public transport initiative, continued to expand. The government also accelerated the transition towards green mobility. During the year, 34 electric buses became operational, while an additional 100 electric buses are being inducted into the transport network. Furthermore, procurement of the first 500 electric buses under the broader 1,000 EV bus program is being undertaken through a public-private partnership framework, making it one of the largest green transport initiatives in Pakistan. To further strengthen Karachi's transport network, the government has approved procurement of 50 modern double-decker buses at a cost of approximately rupees 4.8 billion, out of which 25 double-decker buses will be on the road in the next 3 months. The new fleet is expected to serve more than 30,000 passengers daily and will significantly enhance public transport capacity in the city. Sir, I now turn to another important pillar of our development strategy, leveraging public-private partnerships to accelerate infrastructure development, attract investment, and create new opportunities for economic growth. The Government of Sindh has successfully positioned public-private partnership as a key instrument for infrastructure development. Today, Sindh possesses the largest public-private partnership portfolio in Pakistan, valued at approximately rupees 877 billion, with projects worth rupees 190 billion under construction and a further 365 billion under procurement and investment. These projects span transportation, water supply, renewable energy, urban infrastructure, and environmental sustainability. A flagship project under this framework is the Govt Bridge, the largest bank-to-bank or longest bank-to-bank bridge across River Indus in Pakistan, spanning approximately 12.2 kilometers. The project will transform connectivity in northern Sindh. The government also launched the carbon emission reduction through forestation project, covering approximately 35,000 hectares of riverine forest in Jamshora and Matiari district. The project will sustain climate resilience, support carbon sequestration, enhance biodiversity, and create livelihood opportunities for local people. Sir, I now turn to water security, sanitation, and public health infrastructure. Access to clean drinking water, sanitation, and reliable public health infrastructure remains essential for public health, economic well-being, and sustainable development. During the current financial year, the government continued to invest significantly in water supply, sanitation, and drainage infrastructure across Sindh. Out of 167 targeted water supply and drainage schemes, 147 schemes have been completed, while work on 146 additional schemes is progressing and is expected to be completed during the next financial year. Major achievements include the completion of ultraviolet filtration water supply project at Rattodero and significant progress on the Shahadatkot water supply and drainage project, improving access to safe drinking water and sanitation service for local communities. The government is also implementing 578 water supply and sanitation schemes with an investment of approximately rupees 45.56 billion, alongside 67 rural development schemes worth rupees 5.10 billion. Sir, I now turn to the area that will determine the future competitiveness of our province, empowering our youth through technology, innovation, and digital skill. Recognizing that future economy will increasingly be driven by technology, innovation, and knowledge, the Government of Sindh has made significant investments in digital transformation, technology education, and skill development. During 2025-26, substantial progress was achieved through successful implementation of People's Information Technology Program Phase 2, one of the largest digital skill initiatives in Sindh. Sir, I'll just skip the details. They're here, and this document is part of the record of the assemblies. And I'll just, due to shortage of time, I'll just move on to two important nation-building sectors, the works and services and irrigation. In works and services, approximately rupees 146 billion has been released for the projects, including 10.94 billion for maintenance and rehabilitation. 141 schemes have been completed. 2,936 kilometer roads has been either new roads have been built or rehabilitated, almost 3,000 kilometers in the year. On the irrigation side, rupees 96 billion were released, and important achievements in the irrigation because we were particularly concerned about floods. So we focused on the floods, and as a result, the Karo-Ghungro outfall drain system has achieved 69% physical progress. Soni-Dhoro restoration project is almost complete. The Khairpur drainage network, restoring drainage services to approximately 142,000 acres affected by the 2022 floods, is almost complete. The Ranara Canal head reach lining has been completed. Shadiwa small canal lining has been completed. Bulleri distributary lining is almost complete. Rajwa lining is almost complete. Bahadurwa lining is almost complete. Ganjbar lining is almost complete. Gaja Guni branch drain and Hajipur pumping stations have been physically completed substantially. And the K4 support project, the KB feeder lining, has achieved 78% physical progress, and inshallah will be completed in the next financial year. So now I turn to the budget strategies and priorities for financial year 2026-27. The budget for financial year 2026-27 reflects a commitment to fiscal responsibility, economic stability, and continued investment in the welfare of our people. The total budget outlay for the coming financial year is rupees 3.562 trillion, comprising current expenditure of 2.560 trillion, a development portfolio of rupees 720.39 billion, and capital expenditure of rupees 281.7 billion. Despite significant fiscal constraints and additional national obligations, we have protected allocations for education, healthcare, irrigation, public safety, local government services, and social protection. The budget has been formulated on the principles of fiscal prudence, protection of human development, infrastructure investment, and support for vulnerable sections of the society through a balanced combination of expenditure rationalization, improved resource mobilization, and targeted investments. This budget seeks to sustain economic growth, strengthen public services, enhance climate resilience, and create opportunities for future generations across Sindh. The budget has been prepared on a balanced strategy founded on 4 principles: safeguarding Sindh's constitutional rights, maintaining fiscal sustainability, contributing to national stability, and continuing investment in the welfare of our people. Honorable Speaker, Sindh responded positively to federal government's request for cooperation towards national strategic requirements. However, from the outset, we made it clear that any support must remain fully consistent with the Constitution, protect Sindh's rights under the NFC award, and not compromise province's development priorities, fiscal sustainability, or public service delivery obligations. Following extensive negotiations, the Government of Sindh secured a comprehensive framework of constitutional and financial safeguards through an arrangement with the federal government. The most important safeguard is the full protection of Sindh's constitutional entitlement under the 7th NFC award. This arrangement explicitly secures fiscal protection mechanism through a guaranteed federal revenue assignment base of rupees 3.35 trillion. Even if federal revenues fall below this threshold, Sindh's protected share will remain insulated from such shortfalls, ensuring stability and predictability in province's finances. At the same time, Any revenues collected above the projected federal revenue assignment of rupees 15.264 trillion will continue to be distributed under the NFC formula, ensuring that Sindh retains its full constitutional share in future revenue growth. Honorable Speaker, the constitutional basis for this support is rooted in Article 164 of the Constitution, which empowers the Provincial Assembly to make grants in respect of matters beyond its legislative competence. This arrangement reflects the spirit of cooperative federalism. Fulfilling these national responsibilities has not been without a cost. To accommodate this contribution while maintaining fiscal stability, the government has reduced its provincial ADB size from the projected rupees 575 billion to rupees 400 billion. Nevertheless, we have protected priority projects and essential public services that directly affect the lives of our citizens. Our objective is not merely to spend more, but to spend better. This budget therefore reflects a careful balance between national responsibility and provincial rights, between fiscal development, discipline and development ambition, and between present challenges and future opportunities. So I'll just briefly tell you our investments in various sectors. In the education sector, that remains at the heart of the government's development strategy. We are allocating rupees 601 billion for education. For health and population sector, the total allocation is rupees 402 billion. This would enable, and so we have ring-fenced funding to our flagship healthcare institutions, including NICVD, SICVD, SIUT, SICHN, JPMC and Govt Institute, which collectively provide free and life-saving healthcare services to millions of patients annually. We've also ensured that our partnership with Indus Hospital Network, Child Life Foundation and Patient Aid Foundation remains insulated from fiscal pressures so that uninterrupted healthcare services continue to be available to the citizens of this province. So in the transport and communication sector, we have allocated 185 billion. Investments will support the expansion of public transport system, road infrastructure, bridges, and strategic connectivity projects across Sindh. Our objective is to improve mobility, reduce travel time, facilitate trade, and provide safe, affordable, and efficient transportation system to the people of Sindh. So in the irrigation sector, an investment of rupees 103 billion has been provided. The government will continue investing in canals, drainage systems, barrages, flood protection works, and climate resilient water structure. In sanitation and public health engineering sector, an allocation of rupees 49 billion has been earmarked, and this will enable us to ensure that drainage infrastructure and public health engineering projects improve living conditions and public health outcomes, particularly in the underserved urban and rural areas. So for local government and service delivery sector, we are allocating rupees 347.6 billion. And these resources will support municipal infrastructure, urban development, solid waste management, community services, and improvement in local service delivery across Sindh. For law and order, to maintain peace and security, an amount of 222 billion rupees is being allocated. These resources will strengthen policing, public safety, counterterrorism capabilities, safe city initiatives, and modern law enforcement infrastructure to ensure the protection of lives and property across the province. An amount of rupees 72.8 billion has been allocated for the agriculture, livestock and fisheries sector, which remain a priority for us. For energy, climate and environmental sector, rupees 84 billion has been earmarked. For minorities and women development sector, rupees 3.5 billion has been provided, and these allocations have been ring-fenced and protected from expenditure rationalization measures. The government remains committed to empowering women, promoting gender equality, supporting economic participation, and ensuring that minority communities continue to receive the support and opportunities they deserve as equal citizens of Pakistan. For persons with disabilities, An investment of rupees 22.8 billion is earmarked. Despite physical challenges, funding for disability-related programs has been fully protected. The government will continue investing in rehabilitation services. For the social protection sector, an amount of rupees 26.4 billion has been earmarked. Honorable Speaker, the budget 2026-27 is therefore not merely a program of expenditures. It is carefully prioritized investment strategy designed to protect human development, strengthen infrastructure, improve connectivity, enhance water security, promote economic growth, and create opportunities for future generations. Every rupee has been directed towards projects that deliver the highest social and economic return for the people of Sindh. Honorable Speaker, sir, having outlined our strategy for the year ahead, I now turn to a series of transformational initiatives that will shape the next phase of Sindh's development and create new opportunities for investment, employment, and prosperity. And so I would like to mention that these initiatives were done under the guidance of Chairman Pakistan People's Party, Mr. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, and President of Pakistan, Mr. Asif Ali Zardari. And when I talk about them, you will know where we are going to. From our normal day-to-day development work, we are now thinking big, and we are thinking international, and I'll come to that now. Sir, our previous achievements in public-private partnership provide a strong foundation for the future. Today, we stand at the threshold of a new phase of development, one that seeks not only to address current challenges, but also to unlock the immense economic potential of Sindh. Every generation is presented with a defining opportunity that shapes its economic destiny for decades to come. And I believe, sir, that moment for the province of Sindh is now. The government of Sindh believes that the time has come not merely to build projects, but to lay foundations of a new economic future. The initiatives that I am about to announce are therefore not conventional development schemes. They are long-term strategic investments designed to transform Sindh into a globally connected hub of trade, finance, technology, energy, and sustainable growth. So the government of Sindh, through its pioneering public-private partnership framework, established one of the most dynamic and successful PPP portfolios in the region, spanning critical sectors for the economy and infrastructure. Through sustained commitment to innovation, transparency, and private sector participation, Sindh has emerged as a leading PPP jurisdiction, earning both national and international recognition. The global standing of Sindh's public-private partnership program is reflected in recognition by the 10th United Nations Economic Commission for Europe for PPP forums, which published case studies on 4 PPP projects undertaken by the government of Sindh. During the year, the internationally renowned publication, The Asset, conferred the prestigious PPP Deal of the Year award on the Sindh Riverine Forestation Project, further demonstrating the quality, innovation, and global relevance of Sindh's PPP initiative. Earlier, The Economist ranked Sindh's PPP project the 6th best PPP program in Asia, a distinction that continues to underscore the province's leadership in innovative infrastructure financing and public delivery. The Sindh's public-private partnership program has been acknowledged by the Federal Finance Minister as a trailblazer in PPP development and received appreciation from the Prime Minister of Pakistan. The success of Sindh's PPP framework has received recognition at both national and international level. Most recently, during the National Economic Council meeting held on the 10th of June 2026, the achievements of the government of Sindh's PPP unit were formally appreciated by the National Economic Council, and the government of Sindh was requested to share its experience and provide guidance to other provinces to accelerate implementation of PPP projects across Pakistan. This recognition reflects Sindh's leadership in infrastructure development, innovative financing, and efficient project delivery. Mr. Speaker, sir, building on this strong foundation, the government of Sindh is now embarking upon the next phase of PPP's journey. The focus is no longer merely on expanding the portfolio. Our focus is now on undertaking transformational and strategically significant projects that will redefine Sindh's economic landscape, accelerated growth, strength, competitiveness, and create a more enabling environment for investment, business, and sustainable development. The initiatives that I'm about to announce represent this new generation of PPP projects. They are designed not only to address present-day infrastructure needs, but to position Sindh as a leading center of trade, finance, technology, energy, and innovation for decades to come. Sindh has always led from the front. It was the vision of Shaheed Zulfikar Ali Bhutto that led to the establishment of Port Qasim, which today handles nearly 40% of Pakistan's maritime trade. Most recently, Sindh became the first province to develop an airport through its own resources in the Thar region. These achievements demonstrate that when Sindh combines vision with determination, transformational changes become possible. Building upon this legacy, the government is embarking upon the next phase of its development journey. Sir, I'm proud to announce that the Sindh government is going to undertake the KT Bandar Maritime and Economic Corridor. Throughout history, great cities and prosperous economies have emerged around ports, trade routes, and maritime gateways. The development of KT Bandar represents Sindh with a once-in-a-generation opportunity to create an economic growth pole on the southern coastline of the province. Sir, I'd remind you that this project was conceived by Shaheed Mohtarma Benazir Bhutto during her government from 1993 to 96, and it is now that the government of Sindh is by itself taking this project to fruition. Guided by the vision articulated by President Asif Ali Zardari, the government has initiated the process of evaluating KT Bandar as a future maritime, logistic, industrial and energy hub of regional significance. An internationally benchmarked integrated economic viability assessment will be undertaken to evaluate the development of a modern coastal economic corridor incorporating port infrastructure, industrial zones, logistic and warehousing facilities, export-oriented manufacturing clusters, energy infrastructure, and multimodal transport connectivity. The assessment will also examine strategic links with the Dhabeji Special Economic Zone, Thar's energy and mineral resources, and emerging regional trade corridors. Our vision extends far beyond the development of a port. We envision a new economic ecosystem that can generate investment, industrialization, export, and employment for the generations to come. The successful development of KT Bandar has the potential to transform the economic geography of Sindh in much the same way that Port Qasim transformed the economic landscape of Pakistan several decades ago. We expect that the federal government will support the government of Sindh in this big leap forward. So the next important initiative that we are undertaking is creation of the Sindh Infrastructure Financial Center in the city of Karachi. Karachi has long been the commercial and financial heart of Pakistan. It hosts the country's largest banks, capital markets, financial institutions, and corporate headquarters. As Pakistan's gateway to international trade and investment, Karachi possesses all the ingredients necessary to emerge as a leading regional financial center. Building upon this historic strength and leveraging Sindh's internationally recognized expertise in developing innovative public-private partnership projects, I am pleased to announce that the government of Sindh has initiated the process for establishing the Sindh International Financial Center as a world-class platform for investment, finance, innovation, and dispute resolution. The government envisions this center as a modern financial ecosystem that will facilitate domestic and international investment, strengthen investor confidence, and support the mobilization of capital for infrastructure, energy, housing, technology, climate resilience, and industrial development. During the coming year, the government will undertake the necessary legal, regulatory, and institutional groundwork for the establishment of the center in consultation with national and international stakeholders, financial institutions, investors, and development partners. Here again, I seek the support of the federal government, as without their support, this would not be possible. We would take the initiative We will do the groundwork. We only need their support to, inshallah, construct this Sindh Investment Financial Center in Karachi. The proposed center will seek to position Karachi as a leading regional hub for infrastructure finance, Islamic finance, climate finance, financial technology, and international commercial services. The initiative will also explore the establishment of modern commercial courts, international arbitration and mediation facilities, and investor-friendly regulatory frameworks aimed at ensuring speedy dispute resolution, greater certainty in commercial transaction, and enhanced investor confidence. Through the center, the government aims to attract global capital, create high-value employment opportunities, strengthen Karachi's competitiveness, and reinforce Sindh's role as a gateway for investment and economic growth in Pakistan and the wider region. For the successful establishment of this strategic investment, the government will work closely with the federal government and relevant national institutions to develop an enabling legal, regulatory, and investment framework. This will include streamlined investor onboarding, facilitation of visas and licensing, efficient regulatory approvals, competitive investment incentives, and mechanisms to facilitate cross-border capital flows. 3 potential sites within Karachi's commercial corridors have already been identified, and we are working at finalizing the site. To translate this vision to reality, funds have been earmarked in the budget for preparation of an internationally bankable feasibility study and implementation framework. So this Sindh International Financial Center is not merely a real estate or an infrastructure project. It is a strategic initiative to position Karachi amongst the emerging financial centers of the region, attract global investment, deepen financial markets, and create new opportunities for future generations. It represents our ambition to connect Sindh with global markets, global innovation, and global opportunity. And this opportunity exists right now because of the Middle East crisis. The KT Bandar Port and the Sindh Investment Financial Center are bound to succeed if we are able to do it right. The next economic transformation will be driven not by traditional industry alone. Sir, I go to the next major initiative, which is the Sindh Green Data Infrastructure Initiative. Sir, the next great economic transformation will be driven not by traditional industries alone, but by data, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and digital infrastructure. Across the world, governments and businesses are investing billions of dollars in data centers and digital ecosystems that power the modern economy. The demand for computing power, digital storage, artificial intelligence applications, and cloud services is growing at an unprecedented pace. Sindh is uniquely positioned to capitalize on this opportunity. Our province possesses some of the most attractive renewable energy resources in the region, with solar irradiation levels ranging from approximately 5.5 to 6.5 kilowatt-hour per square meter per day. Areas around Karachi and Hyderabad offer immense potential for solar energy generation, while the Jampir Wind Corridor has already established itself as one of South Asia's most promising wind energy zones. Furthermore, the successful development of the Thar energy project demonstrates Sindh's institutional capacity, technical expertise, and commitment to undertake large-scale energy initiatives. Recognizing these advantages, the rapidly growing global demand for digital infrastructure, I am pleased to announce that the Government of Sindh has initiated work on the Sindh Green Data Infrastructure Initiative. Under this initiative, the government will undertake the necessary planning, regulatory facilitation, and infrastructure development required to establish dedicated renewable energy parks and technology zones capable of supporting large-scale data centers and digital infrastructure investments. The proposed initiative will integrate renewable energy generation, transmission infrastructure, international digital connectivity, data center parks, and investment facilitation within designated technology and energy zones across the province. By leveraging indigenous solar and wind resource, Sindh aims to attract domestic and international technology companies, cloud service providers, artificial intelligence enterprises, computing operators, and data center developers seeking reliable, affordable, and environmentally sustainable location for digital operations. The initiative will also support the establishment of dedicated data center facilities powered primarily through renewable energy source, creating a new generation of clean energy, digital infrastructure that strengthens economic competitiveness while advancing climate and sustainability objectives. So the benefits of these initiatives will extend far beyond the digital sector, while renewable energy generation will primarily support data centers and technology infrastructures. Surplus clean energy can also be utilized for desalination facilities, water treatment plants, industrial estates and special economic zones, including Nooriabad Industrial Zone, Side Karachi, Kurangi Industrial Area, Port Qasim Industrial Area, and the Dhabeji Special Economic Zone. This integrated approach will reduce energy costs, improve sustainability, and enhance the competitiveness of industrial and economic activity across Sindh. The initiative is expected to attract private investment, create high-powered, valued employment opportunities for our youth, strengthen digital infrastructure, and accelerate Sindh's transition towards a knowledge-based economy. To fully realize this vision, the government will engage with the federal government and relevant regulatory authorities to facilitate reforms that enable direct green energy offtake arrangements and remove regulatory barriers to investment in renewable energy-powered digital infrastructure. Sir, regarding energy security, renewable transition and solar empowerment, we also have a few new initiatives. Energy has always been the foundation of economic growth and human development. For many years, Pakistan has faced severe energy shortages that constrained industrial growth, discouraged investment, and imposed hardship on ordinary citizens. At this critical juncture, the government of Sindh took a bold visionary decision to unlock the vast coal reserves of Thar. Through successful developments, the Sindh Agro Coal Mining Company and the broader Thar coal projects, Sindh transformed the dormant natural resource into a strategic national asset. Today, Thar coal is contributing thousands of megawatts of affordable energy to the national grid, strengthening Pakistan's energy security and reducing dependence on imported fuels. Building upon this success, the government is now undertaking another major initiative to the development of rail-linked transportation of Thar coal, which will further improve efficiency, reduce logistic costs, and support future industrial development. We are undertaking this project in collaboration with the federal government. Honorable Speaker, while coal helped Pakistan address immediate energy needs and strengthen national energy security, the future belongs to cleaner and more sustainable sources of energy. Fortunately, Sindh is blessed with some of the most abundant renewable energy resource in the region. The province possesses world-class solar potential and is home to the Jampir Wind Corridor, one of the largest wind energy corridors in South Asia. Having successfully harnessed the power of Thar, the government is now embarking upon the next phase of Sindh's energy journey by unlocking its vast solar and wind potential. We've utilized indigenous coal resources to address energy crisis and power economic growth. We must now utilize indigenous renewable sources to build a cleaner, more sustainable and more affordable energy future. In pursuance of this vision, I am pleased to announce one of the largest household renewable energy programs in Pakistan. Under this initiative, 275,000 free solar home systems have been procured at the cost of rupees 18 billion for distribution among deserving households belonging to the poorest segments of the society. For thousands of families, particularly those facing economic hardship, this program will reduce electricity costs, improve energy access, and enhance quality of life. At the same time, the government recognizes that energy affordability is also a challenge for middle-class households. Therefore, through a partnership between the Sindh Enterprise Development Fund and the Sindh Bank, we are launching an innovative solar financing program to enable middle-income families to install rooftop solar systems through subsidized financing arrangements. This initiative will allow households to reduce electricity bills, achieve greater energy independence, and participate in clean energy transition without facing significant upfront costs. Sir, agriculture is the backbone of our economy, and we are giving special focus to agriculture. So the prosperity of Sindh is inseparable from the prosperity of its farmers. Agriculture remains the backbone of Sindh's economy, Yet nearly 93% of farmers cultivate small landholdings, limiting their ability to access modern machinery, efficient irrigation systems, affordable financing, and competitive markets. To address this challenge, I am pleased to announce that the government will introduce a necessary legislation, a landmark reform designed to empower small farmers through legally recognized, democratic, and farmer-led agricultural collectives. The objective of this initiative is simple but transformative. To enable farmers to achieve the benefit of scale without surrendering ownership of their land, farmers will continue to own and cultivate their individual holdings while voluntarily joining together to access machinery, technology, finance, storage, processing facilities, and marketing on collective basis. The government will act as a facilitator, regulator, and enabler. The most important feature of this initiative is access to finance. Financing will be channeled through commercial banks, development finance institutions, and partner organizations. Farmers themselves will decide which machinery, technologies, and services best suit their needs, creating a demand-driven and farmer-owned model of agricultural modernization. For the first time, registered agricultural collectives will be recognized as bankable entities capable of accessing subsidized credit, lease financing, crop insurance, and asset insurance. Through this initiative, farmers will gain access to tractors, harvesters, laser land leveling, drip irrigation, solar-powered tube wells, drone-based services, storage facilities, processing infrastructure, and modern market linkages at a scale previously beyond their reach. This reform has the potential to transform fragmented farming into organized, technology-enabled, and market-linked agriculture, increase productivity, strengthen climate resilience, improve water efficiency, and raise rural incomes across Sindh. It is a new model of rural empowerment that places farmers themselves at the center of development and creates a pathway towards a more productive, prosperous, and sustainable agriculture future of Sindh. So another concept that we are working on is integrated waste to value and circular economy program. Rapid urbanization presents both challenges and opportunities. As our cities continue to grow, the need for sustainable and efficient waste management system becomes increasingly important. Over the years, the government of Sindh has made significant investments in municipal solid waste, particularly in the collection and transportation of waste from major urban centers. Building upon these efforts, we are now ready to move towards the next stage of reform. I am pleased to announce the government intends to develop an integrated waste to value program under the public-private partnership framework, transforming waste management from municipal service into an engine of environment sustainability and economic value creation. The proposed initiative will move beyond conventional waste collection and disposal by focusing on scientific processing, treatment and recovery of value from municipal solid waste. This will include the production of refuse-derived fuels, recycling of recoverable materials, and other waste-to-resource initiatives capable of generating economic returns while reducing environmental impacts. The program will also incorporate modern landfill gas management systems to capture methane emission from existing and future landfill sites. These measures will contribute towards reducing greenhouse gas emissions, improving environmental outcomes, and strengthening climate resilience. Honorable Speaker, a key feature of this initiative is its potential to create new revenue streams through resource recovery and carbon monetization. I'll just skip and I'll go to the next section here. It's given in detail. So taken together, these initiatives represent a new phase in Sindh's economic development. KT Bandar will strengthen Sindh's role in regional trade. The Sindh International Financial Center will connect Sindh to global capitals. The Green Data Infrastructure Initiative will position Sindh within the digital economy of the future. Renewable energy and solarization will support energy security and affordability. The agricultural collective initiatives will strengthen productivity and prosperity in rural Sindh. The Waste to Value program will promote environmental sustainability and circular economic growth. Together, these flagship initiatives are designed to expand opportunities, attract investment, and build the foundations of long-term economic growth across the province. Sir, we are always aware of protecting the most vulnerable, our pro-poor and social protection initiatives. At a time when rising living costs continue to affect households across the province, the Government of Sindh remains committed to protecting the most vulnerable segments of the society. Accordingly, I am pleased to announce a package of pro-poor social protection initiatives amounting to Rs 13.2 billion. These initiatives include Kitchen Garden Initiative, Benazir Hari Card Program, Benazir Women Agriculture Workers Program, Orphan and Widow Support Program. Sir, I now turn to measures aimed at providing relief to workers, employees and pensioners. Honourable Speaker, sir, economic growth must translate into improved living standards for workers, employees and pensioners. The government recognizes that despite improving economic indicators, many households continue to face pressures from rising living costs. Workers, salaried employees and pensioners have contributed significantly to the progress and stability of our society and deserve support during challenging economic conditions. Accordingly, the government has decided to provide relief to both public and private sector workers. Honourable Speaker, there will be no new taxes in the next financial year 2026-27. The Finance Act proposes a number of targeted relief measures to support education, employment, insurance and agriculture. Sales tax on education support services, including education consultancy, testing and evaluation services, being reduced to 5%. The reduced 5% tax rate on recruiting agents for overseas employment is being extended for a further 2 years. Beauty parlors and salons integrated with the point of sale system will continue to benefit from the concessional 8% tax rate, while certain donor-funded development projects also being given tax relief. To promote insurance coverage and resolve outstanding disputes, the tax rate on insurance agents and brokers is proposed to be reduced from 5% to 2 to 3%, while tax exemption threshold for life insurance is being increased from ₹500,000 to ₹3.5 million. For agricultural sector, penalties for non-filing of agriculture income tax returns are being rationalized. The agriculture super tax exemption threshold is being enhanced, and ₹150 million to ₹500 million, from ₹150 million to ₹500 million, and the tax rate is being reduced from 10 to 8%. These measures will provide meaningful relief, encourage compliance and support economic growth in Sindh. Mr. Speaker, sir, I am pleased to announce that the Cabinet today has recommended that the minimum wage be enhanced from the current Rs 40,000 per month to Rs 43,000 per month. This will come into effect July 1, 2026 after going through the regulatory process. Sir, I am also pleased to announce that all government employees shall receive a 7% increase in basic pay with effect from 1st of July 2026. And sir, we'll ensure that the lowest pay of our grade 1 officers, employees is at least Rs 43,000, the minimum pay. Furthermore, all pensioners shall receive a 7% increase in pension with effect from 1st of July 2026. So these measures reflect government's continued commitment to supporting workers, honouring pensioners and helping households cope with rising living costs. Honourable Speaker, sir, as I conclude, this budget is not merely a statement of receipts and expenditures. It reflects our priorities, our aspirations and our commitment to the people of Sindh. The budget for financial year 2026-27 has been prepared at the time of global uncertainty, economic challenges and rapid technological changes. Yet, it is also a time of opportunity. Over the past year, we protected development spending, strengthened public services, supported vulnerable households, expanded infrastructure, invested in human capital, and laid the foundation for future growth. Sir, our vision is clear. We want a Sindh where every child has access to quality education, every family has access to quality health care, and every young person has an opportunity to realize his or her potential. A Sindh where farmers, workers, entrepreneurs and investors can prosper. A Sindh connected through modern infrastructure, strengthened by innovation and prepared for opportunities of the digital economy. A Sindh where development reaches every district, every community and every citizen. So this budget is guided by three enduring principles: protecting citizens, investing in people, and building for the future. These principles will continue to guide our efforts as we work towards a more prosperous, inclusive, and resilient Sindh. The people of Sindh have always demonstrated extraordinary resilience, determination, and optimism in the face of challenges. With unity, hard work, and a shared sense of purpose, I am confident that together we can build a stronger Sindh and contribute to a stronger Pakistan. This budget is a commitment to our people, a commitment to opportunity, and a commitment to future generations. So a number of people have worked very hard in order to put together this document, which is a futuristic document. We're not talking about just projects, we are talking about visions of the future. And I'd like to acknowledge them, but I'll just wait till my winding speech, because this is a very long list, and I've already taken up a lot of everybody's time. And if I start naming those people now, it'll take a long time. So let me wait and till my winding up speech. But I would want to acknowledge all those people, and I'll do it at the end. So with these words, I announce that the annual budget for financial year 2026-27 to this Honourable House for its consideration and approval. Sindh Sada Abad, Pakistan Paindabad. Thank you very much.